Book your driving lesson now at dla-driving.co.uk. Sponsored by DLA Driving Schools.
Hello and welcome to Owen the Town. Genuinely, I really didn't want to do this one tonight. We had a somewhat disastrous day at the Riverside, and I think I'm right in saying we were totally embarrassed by a 5-1 scoreline. I mean, it could have been more, it could have been a lot worse. We're going to discuss the game as much as we can in more detail, and sadly, at the end of the match, Rob appeared, for me, to wave goodbye to the fans. And in his post-match interview, it seemed to suggest that the writing's on the wall for this Luton manager, who I might say, I've never wanted to succeed so much as any other manager we've had with us. We're going to chat about that too. I'm really down. I'm sure a lot of you are as well. We've got your 3-word reviews, and if anything happens whilst we're recording, we'll let you know, but I don't suspect that will happen. And if you're watching on YouTube, as always, I would say already you can see that we have a full house with us this evening. We have Steve, Bataro, remembered your name this time, and Darren.
Hello everyone.
Thanks for coming along, and I suppose we have to do it because we do it every week, and we have to think about the game and talk about the game. So let's do that. And the weekend overall, though, has been an absolute disaster, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. I think, to be honest with you, we're recording this early Monday evening, and it's a bit of a surreal one because I don't think we thought we'd be sitting here sort of about to sort of go over the sort of content that we are going to go over. We think that things would have sort of superseded, but and we're basing that on the wave goodbye at the end, which was very, very clear and obvious. The manner of his interview, but then for me, really, really strange was Simon Oxley, who I really respect. I think he's a great commentator, a great sort of pundit. Like a 2-minute clip, where it just seemed like he must have spoken to him, and he said that's it, because the way he said, so we say farewell, we say thanks, as if it was done. And
I would have said Simon Oxley would have got anything from his press interviews and the way that he handled it.
Oh, I agree.
And
yeah,
coming off a really poor performance, Badara, on Saturday.
Oh, it was well, I'll be honest, I thought it was okay until we conceded. I thought it was okay. I'm not saying it was great.
No. First half hour, we sort of controlled the game without looking
too dangerous. But we were in. It looked like we were in control. Like the balance was, but
reminded me of Preston away, to be honest with you, where we sort of we had lots of the ball, but didn't really
do nothing with it. This is the thing. And I looked at it and I thought, okay, we're doing okay. And then as soon as they got that corner, wasn't it? And obviously, it was absolutely disgraceful defending.
I mean, before we go too deep into the Rob thing, I do want to talk about the game a bit, because I think we need to look at the game, and none of us were expecting a 5-1, Darren, were we?
Well, I wouldn't know, because we forgot to ask the results, didn't we?
Well, I have to point out to you that me and Steve both said 5-1.
Well, independently verified with each other as well. So,
No, I think I don't think we were thinking 5-1, but the Cardiff game was arguably papering over the cracks. I think we deserved to beat Cardiff, but it wasn't great. No. It wasn't great, and I think if you were to ask me, did I think we'd get anything from Middlesbrough? Probably not. Although Middlesbrough a bit hit and miss. Once I saw the starting lineup, I knew we weren't going to get anything.
It's a difficult.
Sorry, very quickly. I think the phrase "papering over the cracks." I think every time there's a win or a really good performance, we can say that, and I think it only isn't that when you see like 3 or 4 good performances on the trot. There's been 1 or 2 papering over the cracks, but I think it's always called that, isn't it? But until you sort of put in some consistency good performances, then you can say, well, that isn't the case. They've just turned it around a bit.
Yeah. What troubles me, moreover, is the fact that when we played Watford, we were brilliant. And without question, we were brilliant. And we made Watford look poor.
Yeah.
Although Watford are now, in the top 6, aren't they? 6th, 7th, or wherever they are.
Maybe even a bit higher. Fourth.
Okay, so they're 4th, and they're doing super well. And we made them look like they should be where we are. And I can't understand how from that we've gone to what happened on Saturday.
Yeah, because you would hope that they would have taken so much from that, and indeed, the next game was Sunderland, which I thought was another.
We did all right against Sunderland.
It was another very good performance.
Yeah.
So again, you would think, you would think that they're aware enough to say, right, we lost it, but we could see that we done well there, and again, taken a bit from that. But then, what was the game after that? Was that Coventry after that?
Coventry away was ridiculous,
and then all that good work was gone.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Right, that's the thing, and it is a confidence thing, and it's not just the manager; it's the team.
Yeah,
and who in the team are not showing up, and who are not playing to their full potential, and those things annoy me. And because we know, and I know I'm going to sound like a happy clapper, everyone, but we do know that we've got some really genuinely great players playing for us at the moment. Some good players,
very good,
and you don't expect them to perform like that.
It's just a bit of a joke, isn't it? I mean, there's almost a level of consistency in the way of how shit we can be. If that's the best way
that's one way of putting it.
That's what I've been thinking, because there's no sort of like it's not like, we're good one week and then we're really poor the next week. We're progressively getting worse as well. I think, apart from obviously the Watford game and Sunderland game, fine.
Watford game was the best game we played this season.
Yeah, of course it's going to be anyway. Whatever we think, but yes,
performance. If we'd have walked out of that as losers, then I think this whole downward spiral would have started earlier. But we didn't, and we thought we're pushing on from it. Hang on, let's talk about the game. Let's talk about your 3-word reviews. Let's get these out. Yes, we do.
Yes.
Okay.
Just keep drinking, Bataro, you'll be fine. 3-word reviews. Andrew says, woeful, shocking performance. Clive, it's getting worse. Birdie, awful team selection. Andy, need a change. Logie, gutless after conceding. David, the last straw. Joanne, enough is enough. And JP says, in deep trouble. You want to take one each? We'll start with Darren.
I'm going to go with Birdie. Awful team selection. I touched on it a minute ago. I think we must have all looked at that lineup and gone, what the hell? For me, it was almost like his resignation letter. I think he went, I feel like he's thrown the towel in with that selection.
Not disagreeing, but on what ones, Darren? Give me.
Starting Woodrow. I'm not Clicker's favourite fan, but he does offer something. I just.
But do you think?
I just think the amount of changes as well, Steve. I know Middlesbrough made 5. We made 6. I don't know. I'm not in that profession. I don't know. But when we talk about players running through brick walls for you and everything else, and I know it's a 3-game week, and it was ludicrous playing Wednesday night to Saturday.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, we're going into an international break. You've got a manager trying to save his career. Let's put it that way. Trying to get the club going. You've come off the back of a win, which I think was deserved against Cardiff. Just about.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but if in your mind, and he brought them on, he brought Morris and Clicker and whoever else on, Kraus on. Kraus should have man the match 2 games in a row, doesn't start. Brown scored against Cardiff, doesn't start. Doesn't start his captain. He left out too many big players.
Yeah. I think Morris. I think a lot of people would say that Morris has been looking tired, and
he has
maybe.
But he still played 35 minutes in that game, Steve. Start him and go. Get to half time for me and we'll see how you are. Can you do 10 minutes beyond half time? I think it almost feels like he's over tweaked, over managed, over tactics. He's trying to be too clever with that team selection, and it couldn't have backfired any more if it tried.
I mean, the thing I'm going back to now, obviously, about team selection was Sheffield United, was it? When he's playing, I think, Doughty at right back, Walters at left back and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That was the time there, I thought... There's major problems.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying with certain players, but do you know what? I'm going to throw it out there. I don't think Woodrow did that bad,
No, I was about to say.
On Saturday, I don't think he was... At least he had a couple of shots on target as well.
I was about to say, I think some people's criticisms of Cauley Woodrow is unfair. And I think it's unfair He's never been able to play 90 minutes.
He never gets a chance, really.
He never gets a chance. He can't be consistent. He hasn't been given that opportunity. He's always been that impact player. So we don't know how good he could be for 90 minutes. We really don't. And I think we've put a lot of vitriol against him. We didn't need to. I think, we call him out. Look at the goal he scored at Crystal Palace. Look at those sort of things. Look, he put himself in the right places on Saturday. He could have scored. And maybe, I don't want to say should have scored, but he had a really good opportunity. And I didn't think he did too badly.
I think if you
the whole team were poor.
Are you talking about the shot where Chong put in a good cross?
Yeah, I mean, that was a great move.
Yeah, it was good movement from him. He'd have been gutted that he didn't score, and he probably should have scored. But I think he had
it's tough though, isn't it?
It's
pace
tough.
of the ball.
But he was by nowhere near one of our worst players on.
But I was about to say you can't pick out just one or two players because they've all been inconsistent in their own ways. Adebayo's not been scoring. Carlton puts in a shift. We haven't been putting as many goals as we did previous seasons. Jordan Clark, I know you don't like Clicker sometimes. I know you love him, really. I know you do, Darren. But
that face says it all. He's like, look at Dave.
No, I'm saying Jordan Clark joined us on a free transfer. He's given his all to this club. He really has. He scored one of the most important goals in the club's history.
Yeah.
Then he got injured. Then he came back against Man U and he was thrown into the mire there. And ever since then, people have sort of seemed to be anti him playing. And he'll give everything for this football club.
Yeah. Okay. Any player, whoever it is, at whatever club, but to me, you're based on how good you are at that moment. If someone was good a year ago, but they haven't been consistently good for a while, then I'm sorry, you don't. To me,
all I'm saying,
to me, no, hang on, but you don't have sort of credits if you were good a year or two ago. It's the here and now.
All I'm saying is some of the vitriol and the way that it's been given is not fair. I mean, Darren, I know you don't. Oh,
there's very little constructive.
It's not even constructive. It's just downright obnoxious at times, and I don't agree with that. Not you, obviously not you. No. I'm looking at Darren for those people listening.
It's very glum today.
Do you know what we're trying to say, though?
No, I do. You're right, Steve. Though you can only, for me, you only base it on what I see that game or the last handful of games.
Yeah.
That's all I base it on. Clicker's been amazing, but for me, he's a squad player for us at the moment, and I think if everybody's fit, I wouldn't have him starting. That's how it is. However, I go back to that awful team selection. You haven't started Morris and you haven't started Clicker, so they've been the two captains. I know Bell's come in when but okay, you have one of those on. Then you look at it and go, well, he didn't play Clicker and he didn't play Kraus. So then you go, well, you're just taking that spine out of that middle and that. I just thought it was bizarre. Leave some experience, something in there. It was a really strange team selection.
It was slightly on, to be fair, yeah.
Why was it on 3-word reviews? I'd rather avoid talking about the game, to be fair.
And I'm just saying it because you're going into an international break. If there was another game on Tuesday or Wednesday, there's another game next Saturday, I go, okay, they've got to go.
Oh, yeah, I'm with you on that one, yeah.
But they're going to be given 4 or 5 days off here. They're not going to be back until probably Thursday. I would have said, lads, I need you to run through a brick wall for me today. I need you to go through the pain barrier. I need you to do this. Go and give me all you can.
And we don't know that he didn't say that. So no, that's the other point.
But then it comes down to the players then, Dave.
I'm saying the players need to take up and take some responsibility for the way they perform. And you can look on the pitch, and we'll get to it in a minute.
I think when we dive into the game, you'll see that.
What do you want to say, Steve?
Gutless after conceding.
You fucker. That's my fault.
Yes. I just thought it was a complete capitulation, and the body language and the demeanour when the first goal went in, and you just thought, numbers up.
Yeah. Yeah, we did say that, didn't we, when we was watching?
Yeah. But that's not the first time this season. Coventry, as soon as they got the first goal, you went, we're going to
lose
more.
Yeah.
It feels like there is a thing. As soon as we can see the goal, their heads go.
And this is what I was going to go for as well. Obviously, the thing in my mind, obviously, as I was watching on Saturday, was, okay, we're doing okay here. Like I said before, nothing majorly impressive, but we're doing okay here. And then I thought, in my brain, all I'm thinking is, if we concede first here, we are absolutely doomed. And lo and behold,
Yeah.
What happens?
I'm surprised that Middlesbrough fans, and maybe I didn't hear it, Can We Play You Every Week? Why didn't they sing that? Because it was a poor performance. But you're right, Bataro. Let's think about the game. 5-1. 5-1. I can't say it enough. Borough fans, if you're listening, it's going to be probably moaning about Luton Town.
Yeah,
I remember when we beat Borough 5-1, young John Hartson got a hat-trick.
Yeah, like you don't get credits from previous performances, Steve. You just told me that.
But he was available. He could have played.
I want to start with what Bataro just said. You know, when we started, 30 minutes in and we're playing good football, we're pinging the ball around a lot, and although we're not creating a great deal, we had two really decent chances as well.
It's better than what we used to as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I felt that was a better performance in the first half an hour than what we've seen probably for most of this season, obviously, other than the obvious Watford, but yeah.
And I want to put it out there that had that effort from Walsh gone in, the one that I think was probably, he just needed to place it a little bit further to the right. He
snatched it. He dragged it.
It was such a good shot.
Yeah, no, I'm with you now.
You were waiting for that net to ripple when it left his foot. Had that gone in, would the game have been a little bit different?
Well, it could well have been, but yeah, I mean, he did snatch at it. He didn't catch it how he wanted to.
But it was still a chance.
Yeah,
and at that point, we've been playing really super well.
Yeah, because we said at the time the keeper was rooted, wasn't he?
Absolutely rooted. If it's a couple of foot or a foot or so to the right of the post, it's a goal.
Is that when the ball comes in, Adebayo lays it off?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I'm going to throw it out there. People might completely disagree with this, but I thought an in-form Adebayo turns his defender there and shoots himself. Well, I was screaming for him to roll him.
Yeah. We did shout that as well.
Yeah,
we shouted that out.
Yeah, Dave said he should have rolled him and shot with his left foot. It was a poor layoff, wasn't it?
It's in-form stuff. But it didn't go in, and you're fearing the worst as it gets on. And I think it was their first corner of the game. 30 minutes in, the first corner of the game. Darren, you could start. What were our defence thinking of? When I say start, I mean just start the conversation.
What were they thinking of? Nothing.
Nothing.
That's what they were thinking. The guy just walks in off of middle of the 6-yard line.
It was central.
Walk past Adebayo, walk past Woodrow. Walsh is just having a nap on the edge of the box. And that's that. That's the end of that. Teams have set piece coaches and whatever. I don't know whether they did. It's clearly one off the training ground. But I mean, we were so so off of it.
It's pathetic. Honestly, I'm going to throw it out there. It was pathetic because that's the one thing in the game that's really infuriated me more than any of the other goals. Pathetic.
Yeah,
absolutely pathetic. I'll say it again. Pathetic.
Can we just give a nod to Middlesbrough fans and Middlesbrough because it was a nice little move. It was a nice little move. It really caught us napping. Yes, it was. Absolutely was.
Yeah, because they caught us napping and it paid off.
It was very but I appreciate that, but it was very slow, wasn't it? I mean, if you can't react to something that slow, it's not like the ball was fizzed in, it was flicked. It was just like a ball into feet, two around him, no one's picked him up, and all of a sudden, like say, Walsh is napping on the edge of the area. But what the hell is he doing as well?
Okay, so then we go back to that team selection of, we've just called out two players there, Woodrow and Walsh. They haven't had many minutes. They're not up to speed. And then we get done.
I thought it was awful from Walsh, though. He would have been in that position purely.
He needs to watch that run.
Purely for any ball, maybe not even the run, for any ball coming out, he's got to be attacking it, and he just froze. Yeah. So that was really.
And I can understand the first point of contact and the ball comes into the striker, but then our players are still goal side of him. So at that point, you shouldn't be able to get that ball behind, like you're saying, Walsh. That's your man. You've got to stay with him. What are you doing? I'll tell you what, I'll be honest, if that was me, I would have taken him straight off. I would have pulled him off for that and I get off, you shit.
Okay, so it was noticeable. It was absolutely noticeable that when that goal went in, lots of heads dropped. You could see it straight away. We've done all that work for 30 minutes and now we're behind.
Yep.
We ain't getting back in that. That's what it felt like. 12, 13 minutes later, they get a second. You called this on the day, Steve. Mengi. He should have done better there, right?
Yeah. Let's before that though. I think it's Azaz, their player. He was just outside the centre circle. Okay, no one anywhere near him. No one making any effort to go to him. It was like Sheffield United. He controlled the ball. It was a good maybe 2 seconds while he looked around and then he dinked the ball in. Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah, he
so
did
that
point
is
that
absolutely
out.
shocking. And I think the whole of the midfield were an absolute shambles all afternoon. So that was the biggest mistake. Good goal from the guy. Is it Latte Lath?
Latte Lath, yeah.
No, it was a really good goal. However, okay, he's chested the ball down and Mengi was touch tight on him. Okay, then Mengi backs off 2 or 3 feet, giving him the opportunity to turn and put the ball away. So he took advantage of it. But if Mengi had stayed touch tight like that, he would not even have tried to have turned him, because he'd have had a little hold of his shirt and he knew that there was nowhere to turn. That was absolutely
Criminal.
useless defending.
Criminal, yeah. I don't say I'm in the same boat. So I'm sitting looking for it on the TV. They were sitting there going, "Oh, it's a great finish. It's a great goal." And I'm looking at it going, "It wasn't that good."
No,
the defending
it was.
No. From his point of view,
Yeah,
yes.
because he seized that opportunity and he put it away.
No, of course,
Yeah.
but the space that you're given to do that, if you shouldn't be given the space and the time to do that, that is absolutely criminal.
Yeah, but if you was a Borough fan though, Batari, you'd be going, "That was lovely," you know. So you got to do it. However,
Because you capitalise on.
yeah,
of
exactly.
course,
But
yes,
you
it's
know,
clever.
all he had to do was stay touch tight, and that goal wouldn't have happened.
Yeah. And it comes to Mengi as well. Like I've said it before, but Mengi, he really infuriated me the other day as well.
I just wish
It
he'd
happened
start
quite
playing
often.
out of his skin,
Yeah.
and then he can get his transfer.
We know,
Yeah.
we know how good he is. Because currently, like, I think last season he was worth 15 million, in my opinion,
Yeah.
or whatever, 12, 15 million. I think now he's worth 1.5. So,
Yeah.
well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he checked out at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, he knows how good he was.
I think.
And that's nothing against him, by the way. It's just how it is going at the moment.
Well,
'cause
you can-
it's
you can
infuriating.
listen.
No.
We know how good he is.
No, he needs to sort himself out.
Of course he does. We know how good he is. That's the point.
You can have your opinions, and there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with those opinions. And you may, or if you're listening, you may or may not agree with them. But Mengi, for me, was a great player in the Premier League when he was playing. He wanted to play for us.
Yeah.
I just feel at the moment he doesn't feel like he wants to play for us.
Yeah,
And
not overly concerned.
I'll be happy to be proved wrong, but I don't think he really wants to play for us. And I think his whole demeanour on the pitch
Yep.
sometimes puts that across. Would you say?
It's just very flat-footed, isn't he? It doesn't want to. There's no spring about it at the moment. There's nothing on his face to suggest, even like body language. It's just off. It's just very off of him at the moment.
It's a weird one, isn't it?
Only he knows what's going on. I don't know, but only he knows.
So you had half time to recover from the first half, and it couldn't get any worse, could it? And
Yes.
it immediately it does. You're looking 6 minutes in, and they score. Your man Azaz again. I don't know what to make of that one, Steve. I can see you've written something down there, so I'll let you.
Well,
I just don't know what to make of the goal, because at 3-0 we are done.
What you think when McGuinness does because that's the fourth goal. Where McGuinness does the misplay.
I just don't know what to make of the third one.
The third goal. I thought Hashi was caught too far up the field. The winger got a march on him, but then when he crossed the ball in, there was two Borough players. I could only see Mengi, and he was understandably right in the middle of both of them. Okay, I don't know where our right back was, but he was sort of covering two of them. It went straight to one of them. It was a half-hearted effort. He didn't really go to charge down the shot, but I thought he got split by those two. But Hashi got caught too far up the pitch.
I know where our right back was, Steve. He got moved to left back. That's where our right back, Hashi, who's had 2 brilliant games at right wing back, gets moved to left wing back.
Okay, so Hashi was caught out of position, but someone would have been in that position.
But the point is, Bataro said it a couple of podcasts ago about why, when you make a sub, why then square pegs round holes? Why move a right back that's playing in his position, finally playing really well, put him on the left to put Moses right wing back? Just put Moses left wing back and keep Hashi on the right.
No, exactly. No, 100%.
So
I agree.
the Hashi getting caught up the pitch because he's now been moved out of position again.
Yeah, so it was Moses that wasn't.
Moses
coming back,
would have been right wing back. So,
Okay.
but do you know what I mean? Make one sub, make one change, and just feel that. But to then swap them over, because Moses started left wing back against West Brom.
Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
remember now.
Alfie was suspended, was he?
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
So Moses started left wing back. So he's played him there.
Moses though is
blows your mind, doesn't it?
Moses is a seasoned professional, and he should do the job he's asked to do.
Absolutely.
And
And
Hashi,
he probably will do as well. If he plays at left back, he probably will. Like you say, against West Brom as well. So
His CV suggests that he should be able to fulfil any of those roles.
Yeah.
he's at the end of his career. Is he really bothered? That's what I'd ask. Is he really bothered? He's getting some more pay. He's getting some more.
Do you remember the recruitment from a few years ago where it was almost like the criteria: young, hungry, desperate to play for the shirt players.
Yeah, but we were in a different position, weren't we then? Than we are now, and we should have attracted some different players, I suppose, in the transfer windows. And now, January can't come around quick enough, can it? So you don't know what's going to happen then.
But you're still going to have agents again going, they were in the Premier League. I think we alluded to it about the window that closed before before the start of the season. All these agents for players that we were probably looking to get were going, the Premier League money, and we weren't going to be shelling it out.
And that's why I feel like we've had 2 poor transfer windows realistically as well, because like you say, agent fees, salary is another thing. It all comes into
agents. I hate them. I'd never understand why we have to pay agents' fees, because if you go and buy an insurance policy, you pay for that fee. Because you're buying an insurance policy.
Players should be paying it.
Of course they should, but then they'll ask some more money, wouldn't they? What was it 3 minutes later?
Yeah.
Well, you can see the 4th.
Yeah.
Is that when McGuinness tries to slide it in?
Yeah.
Bergsorg.
Again, Mengi stopped running.
Yeah.
But it's depressing, isn't it?
It is. But again, the start of that was that Azaz lad again around the centre, and again there was no one on him. There was no one close to him. He had all the time. He played it with his left foot. It was a nice pass, but McGuinness and Mengi were sort of single file on him. McGuinness completely missed. I get the feeling that McGuinness was maybe trying to tow it back to Kaminsky rather than doing a tackle. If you look at the sort of how his foot was, it looked like he was just trying to kick it back to Kaminsky. He completely missed that up. As you said, guys, Mengi had stopped running, and then they just laid it off.
I just feel like his legs were moving quicker than his brain at that point. That's why. No, I'm not being rude to McGuinness. I think McGuinness actually had a decent game, to be fair. A couple of moments he got us out of sticky situations, but for that mistake, obviously that error, I just feel like he got a bit carried away. He was like, hang a minute.
Yeah,
a bit erratic to it. You know what I'm saying?
McGuinness is still quite young. He's got a little bit more to learn.
Oh, to be fair to him,
he's going to be a decent player at some point.
And to be fair to him, like I said,
I think he's pretty good
he
already.
started off poor when he came. I think we can all agree on that. He started off really poor. We thought, Christ, we spent the money on that, and then progressively he's looked more like a leader the last few weeks. People might not think a leader, but he's taken responsibility as a centre half.
Yeah.
He wants the ball. He wants to make the tackles. He wants to get involved, and we've seen that. And that's probably the first mistake he's made since, I don't know, probably the Sheffield United game, maybe potentially him and whoever it was.
Yeah.
4-0, then Clark pops up and scores. We sort of basically, it's like one of those, it's really struggled to get through this, isn't it? Clark's goal.
Yeah, Darren will talk us through it.
Wonderful player.
Can I just say something about Clark's goal? As we're so negative tonight, right? Keeper should have saved it. Keeper should have saved it. It was shit goalkeeping.
It was through him, though. It was through him.
I think, you can't say that. I think...
it's a negative podcast, so let's keep going with negativity. Come on.
No,
Keeper should have saved it.
Because that was through the keeper, but...
It was a great move.
It was.
And it makes you say, why didn't we do this earlier?
For me, but again, it came from Kraus. Well, actually, to give his due, was it Mengi won it? I think.
I can't remember.
Maybe.
Yes, he did.
He did win it up by the halfway line, but then Kraus turned forward pass. Clark nearly did his typical trying to take 10 touches when 2 were due, but he got 2 touches and he got his shot away and he gets a goal. Funnily enough, instead of then trying to turn the guy inside out 3 or 4 times.
Well, there was no one to turn in.
Yeah, exactly. He couldn't turn anymore. He's like, I better have a shot. It goes in.
Yeah. No, it was a nice strike and it was through the keeper before he could react on it.
Because he took it early.
Yeah.
Relatively early.
Yeah.
Stiffy should have saved it. Anyway.
And then Borough scored a 5th, and I don't want to talk about it.
It was a decent. Hey, look, that
was a great goal.
Good goal.
Fair. Yeah, that was a very good goal.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it.
Very quickly, because I've gone to the effort to take time out of my work this afternoon to look through the goals.
You get paid for it, you fucker. Shut up.
I know. No, but okay, there's no doubt it's a lovely goal. It's a lovely finish. However, immediately prior to that, Moses, Nakamba, Mengi, all putting in shit, useless tackles. It was like 5-year-olds in a playground.
Yeah.
All 3 of them. Like when the PE teacher shouts "no bunching." It was that sort of thing, you know. But it was pathetic, the effort from them. You know, I know the game's done, but have some pride in your own work. You know, but the three of them absolutely useless. Lovely finish by the guy.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. That's a very fair point. Yeah. I think it's a valid point because it is, like you say, it's three on the like by the touchline, wasn't it?
Yeah, just all fanning
ball
about.
comes in and it's like, what are you doing? And all of a sudden he's somehow got through and it's like, oh, got the angle now to shoot. No one there.
See, if I was in goal, I would have saved that because I would have been so out of position, it would have gone straight to me.
I don't think you would have been tall enough.
True. Yeah, very true. Right, that's the game done, Dave. What's next on the agenda?
I'm leading this conversation, Steve.
Dave, over to you.
Okay, that's the game done, Steve. Look, 5-1, we never expected it. Middlesbrough, when I spoke to the Middlesbrough guy on preview, Dave, his name was, he was saying that they were expecting to finish top two, and anything less than top two would be a disastrous season for them. And, you know.
That's a bit.
Well, because I think that's where they were looking. They were looking top two.
Where did they finish last season?
I don't know.
They even finished playoffs last season?
I don't think so.
No, the season before that done really well, didn't they? And I think last season wasn't as great. Am I right in thinking that?
Yeah, because obviously Coventry done them in the semis, didn't they?
Yeah, so I don't want to start calling people out, but where do people get this? I don't know. Yeah, I'm not going to say.
I mean, they're probably a playoff team, aren't they? I think.
Yeah.
They're in and around the playoffs.
They've got some decent players. They've got some decent players. Don't get it wrong, but I don't think half of them are that good.
I would suggest in the Championship there are 14 teams that can consider themselves playoff candidates. Yeah.
Are we one of them?
We will be.
We were.
Well, we don't know. I just want to touch on the post-match then. So the team go over to the corner of the fans that had travelled, and quite rightly they were upset. And you could say that they were upset, and they were you know, quite vocal about the performance of the team. And then some of the things they said about the manager I didn't agree with. I didn't agree with him being told to F off. I think that's poor.
Just doesn't do anything.
Well, look, if you're fighting for your job and that happens, it's just like why should I stay? And then you got to look at the post match interview, and I've just written a couple of bits down that I want to read out. Rob said, and Rob waved, didn't he? Definitely, and I said to you, that's a goodbye.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It was as clear as day.
It was an apology and a wasn't it?
Yeah.
The only time he ever waves is when we've won. He gives it one of those ones. He's like that, smiling, and I've never seen him do that before.
It's quite sad, really, because he's done he's done all right. I mean, I think he's done all right. In the Premier League. I don't know any manager would have kept us up. Some people might go against that. Do you know what?
This is the thing that's really irritating me at the moment, Rob. So obviously we all love Rob. Obviously, like I say,
that's the problem.
Turn it around.
We love him, but
is he going to? We don't know now. But anyway, what I'm saying is, a lot of people at the weekend, what I heard, and not just the weekend, wherever, Luton fans, and it's really bugging me now. All they get is, we were shit in the Premier League. The form was poor. Couldn't win a game. I'm thinking it's the Premier League.
Yeah,
that is irrelevant.
If you went up,
we put up a good display. I think, other than maybe the first few games of the season, I think we put up a good display last season in the Premier League.
I think the problem is you get up to that circus up in that division. Yeah. You're not expected to win anything.
No.
And we weren't expecting to win anything, so we're going to enjoy every moment.
It was a free ride for us.
Yeah, we're going to enjoy every moment of it, and it should have been a free hit for the boss as well. And I think we've come down with higher expectations than we've ever had, but the fact and we've not done it.
But the fact that people are sitting there saying, look at last season, we couldn't win a game, this and that, obviously he doesn't know what he's doing tactically and that, blah, blah, blah. People who are saying that in the Premier League, give your fucking head a shake, do you know what I mean? Give it a little wobble, because you need to sort yourself out. We was in the Premier League last season. Fine, this season, I get it, I understand. But not last season, man, come on. Do you know what I'm saying? Come on.
Yeah, agree.
Okay, so Rob actually said on the official website, on the official video afterwards, whatever will be, will be. I don't want to be a diversive figure at this club. I've loved the 2 years. It's been one hell of a ride. Now, if you don't know what diversive means...
Divisive,
yeah, sorry. Yeah. Diversive.
Sorry,
divisive. I do apologise. I don't want to be divisive. Sorry. Thank you very much. If you don't know what diversive means... come to me after the pod.
What's diversive?
I don't want to be a divisive figure at this club. If you don't know what that means, it's tending to cause disagreement or hostility between people. And I think he's had a lot of that hit him for the last 15 games, with 14, with the exception of Watford. And at the moment of recording, we don't know what's going on. Perhaps the board don't want him to go.
I do.
But the backlash online, the fans on the socials, of people like us sitting around here talking about him, some of them have been really nasty, and I don't think anyone deserves that.
No, of course, especially not Rob Edwards either. Come on, man. Like I say, give your fucking self. Just look at yourself. I mean, people are doing that. Just go and sit in a corner somewhere in a dark room.
Yeah, whether you think...
Turn your router off and shut up.
Whether you think he's going to turn it round or not, or whether you want him to be the manager or not, there's no need to be nasty about it.
No.
There's absolutely no need. Although, for me, I think Rob checked out a couple of weeks ago. You look at it... I said when I went to it was 2 weeks ago, I went to the training thing, and I said then, didn't I? He just seemed distant. He seemed distant. Even talking to him, and like we've been saying about his interviews the last few games, and he's leaning on his elbow, and I think mentally he's checked out a couple of weeks ago.
How would you feel
post match? Sorry, Dave. Can I just say the post match the other day as well? The fact that he hasn't gone now, or the fact that he hasn't gone after that interview, I am very shocked, because he thought after saying what he said and the quotes that obviously you just. Few things there.
Yeah, because he did talk about...
He loves the fans.
He did talk about things in a past sense. But, and especially, I know I said it at the start, but when Simon Oxley done that 2-minute thing, I think from hearing that, and being the BBC, you think, well, it's done.
I think it's still done, personally.
So we were almost waiting for, an announcement within a few hours, weren't we?
BBC Three Counties know as much as we do, and they get told at the same time as we do. And if the club are going to make an announcement, they'll make it when it's ready to be made.
So maybe Simon was a little bit premature.
I think he was probably reading.
I think they're trying to work out a severance or something. Do you know what I mean? They're trying to work out, because I think he's gone. I do.
He's reading. Simon Oxley, love him. You're right. I really love the way he reports Luton Town, and he's passionate as we are.
Yeah.
He's going on what he thought because of the way that Rob spoke, and
Yeah, but the way he said, so we do say farewell, we say goodbye.
Yeah, I think
for BBC with its impartiality, I just thought it was really...
But it's not impartial because it's Simon Oxley.
Yeah, but I thought it was really... Yeah, in his capacity of BBC, I just thought it was really going out on a limb, and because of that, I was waiting for something within a few hours.
But nothing yet.
No.
And we don't know what's going on. Look, you either love him or you hate him. He hasn't been the best performance, but, sometimes, and I said this the other week, and again, I'm going to be criticised for this comment, but sometimes it's better the devil you know. And sometimes if you give it a little bit more time, a little bit more opportunity, that could turn around. But then again, other people would argue that we haven't, you said, Bataro, earlier, we haven't been on form since we beat Brighton. I think is it not... In the 4-0 Brighton, wasn't it?
4-0, yeah.
But I also said that in the Premier League, it's not really relevant. It might be like, you know what I'm saying. But with the whole, what you said there, Dave, you either love him or you hate him. I don't really agree with that, because if you hate Rob Edwards, you've got something wrong.
Yeah.
You've got something wrong with you, and you're an idiot, basically. So anyone who's listening to this and you hate Rob Edwards, you're an idiot. Yeah.
I mean, when he joined us, Nathan left for the second time, and we had enough of Nathan's characteristics and antics, and it's me, and the punch in your chest and all that lot. When Edwards came to us, there was a level of humility, decorum and respect, noble to the other side as well. And I think everyone was, thank God for that. We're really starting to portray ourselves in a much better light. And I think that is one of the reasons why everyone was really so happy, how it all started and certainly turned out for the end of that championship season.
But for me, I think it's a little bit to his detriment now, because I think the team represents how he is. He is a lovely guy. He's almost too nice. He is. He in
can
real
you be
life.
Too nice? Can you be too nice, Darren?
Well, I wouldn't know that, would I? Do you know? But
nasty.
But no, he. What you see in telly is what you see in real life and everything. He is a genuinely really nice guy. And I just think his team are playing like that. We're too soft. We're too nice.
Yeah, but you've got to lay some of that responsibility on a footballer who's. I think you said last week, Steve, if you can't kick from a dead ball, you're stealing a living. And also, if you can't step yourself up to play football competitively and in the right manner, then you should be playing for our football club.
This isn't a single one thing. But the trouble is, it will always fall on the manager. I arguably 2 transfer windows, the board have been terrible for me. I think they could have done more. I don't think they could have done more. Should have done more. I think. Yes, I don't think Edwards tactically, for me, is brilliant. I don't think he's amazing. Lovely guy, but I don't think he's a great tactician. And the players, I think you could look at it threefold. This whole situation we're in is a number of things, but it's going to fall on his doorstep, on Edwards' doorstep.
Yeah, exactly. A couple of things, if I may, guys. I do agree. I bet you the last 2 windows, I bet there's been some pathetic figures thrown at the Luton.
Yeah, of course.
Okay,
of course.
We could have done better. Maybe not the right targets or whatever, but I bet you there were some absolute crap figures. I mean, Christ, I think I could have sold myself for $1 million. But
really?
Well, just scrap value for my weight, if nothing else. But also, quickly back to the Middlesbrough game, I think we would have all have got that booking that Carlton Morris got, because that booking was just
that's a frustration,
and the way he tore into who it might have been Moses Mengi, but someone sort of in the defensive line, he tore into him, and that is exactly what we all thought. And I think we would all have got that same booking, because he was almost saying, "How dare you be playing like this?"
Yeah, I think.
And as he walked off, he went "fuck off" as well, didn't he?
Yeah, sorry to my dad, though. By the way,
I'm just lucky that this
swearing.
is.
Sorry about that, but that's what he said, though.
But it's got an explicit rating, so we're okay.
But equally, I get it, and I know where he's coming from. But I think is that 4 games in 4 where Morris has now been booked for dissent.
Yeah, but he was frustrated this time. I mean,
I know
dissent before.
He's also the captain.
But what I want to say to you, Darren, the dissent before was at the officials. The dissent today, or that day, was because his players were. I think if you lip read, you can lip but he just.
He got booked for the persistent foul, was it?
Yeah, he got. But he didn't.
Which I think was a bit soft, by the way. Can I say? But yeah.
But that was of a frustration because the players weren't playing well, and
they'd given up, hadn't they?
You could read his lips, and if you read his lips, he says something along the lines of, "You're letting them take the effing piss."
Yeah. Oh, is that what he said?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I thought he told one of them to.
They are taking the piss out of us.
Yeah.
And they were. Yeah. And they were enjoying it, and Steve, why'd you bring that up? I just want to,
because I wanted to prove, I wanted to demonstrate that. It's a bizarre way of looking at it, but that was real leadership, because he was disgusted about how the other players were letting themselves play.
But also, it's set an example with slight bit. I know what you're saying, though. It's pure frustration as well for him. I get it.
Yeah.
Just going back to the transfer windows, do you think the board are now sat there? I know they've got a lot on their plate at the moment, but do you think the board are sat there now going, "Oh, we should have spent that extra few million on that player. We should have maybe got a couple in on inflated prices"?
I don't know. I doubt it, because there's no point, because that's not going to change anything. They'll now be looking, hopefully, to rectify it. That time has gone, so they're not going to sort of be sitting there thinking, "Oh, what if?" It's gone. It's now what they can do to get it going again.
Are we seriously sitting here saying that the board are a problem? Because you know what, when you if you look at Gary Sweet at the board and what they've done, I mean, Gary Sweet's taken a bit of a battering on online as well, which I don't think's fair either.
But this is people. This is for people. This is personalities.
But the personalities online and wherever else, and and we can talk here, and I'm not slagging the board off at all, because they don't deserve it. They brought us back from the brink of disaster.
Exactly.
Gave us that Premier League dream. We're getting a new stadium, and then anybody says we shouldn't have diverted money to a new stadium, we're never going to progress if we don't get a new stadium. We're never going to be, we need to look at those teams that have redeveloped, that were our size, and look at them now.
I just think they could have.
They just need the respect.
They could have used some of that money.
Well, I'm not disagreeing, but I think I have to refer you back to Steve's point. If we have some of that money, and then this player goes, "I want £1 million a week." We ain't paying that. I want 50,000, 60,000 £60,000 a week more than your top player currently. Then the whole squad has to be upgraded. And then you get to a point if we don't go up, the parachute payment stops in a couple of years. Then what do we do?
Have you seen as well? I saw a little thing that came out on Twitter the other day. So apparently we have the 4th biggest wage bill in the division.
What of this league?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know. You know what?
Apparently so.
From what source?
Hang on a minute.
We haven't got time.
I mean, that does surprise me. But
if you stand still, you go backwards, and we've stood still.
I agree. Also, we've seen countless examples of teams that have spent 70, 80, 90 million on players that have turned out to be a sack of crap, and there is just no way we could have even given that opportunity to materialise. Dave's right. The ground was the be-all and end-all. Some shrewd things. Obviously, Barkley was tremendous. The Lokonga deal, that was great for us. They just weren't going to spend 20 million. Because let's say 20 million on a striker. We'd have been going, wow, 20 million for a striker in the Premier League is a donkey. Because we've seen 50, 60 million pound strikers that you're thinking, well, I wouldn't pick them. So I just don't think that they could cope with that level of gamble. And I don't blame them for it.
Wow.
So that was it. That's obviously, I don't know. It's a few people have tweeted it.
Source. Bloke down the pub set.
Bloke down the pub set.
But no, there's a few people that tweeted it as well.
Well, thankfully, fellas, we've got an international break coming, and we can just relax for a bit because I won't be watching England. Because it's worthless fixtures. And then we come back Hull at home, and that's a must-win for us, isn't it, Hull?
Yes.
That's a must-win. So
the only team that you can't colour in the letters.
Yeah.
It's a sensational stat. Thank you, Steve.
Okay.
Love that.
I don't like that stat.
I'm all over it.
What's that? I didn't miss that, sorry.
It's the only team where you can't colour a letter in.
Look, well, I mean, if
I was trying to wind this pod up, though.
If Rob stays, if Rob is still with us, you couldn't ask for a better game to come back off the international break than that. I'm looking at these stats. Their leading scorer's got 2 goals.
Yeah,
it's not exactly getting mauled by the Tigers. Is
Hull,
it?
Well, if we get
Hull, Leeds, Norwich, Swansea, Stoke, 3 of those games at home, you'd like to think that we could push up a home form and get something from it. It is to use a Pataro phrase. It is what it is. Look,
uncertain times.
It is uncertain at the moment. We don't know what's going on. We might just log on right now and things have changed. But at this moment in time, we have heard nothing. If something comes up, then we'll convene again, boys, and we'll get something out.
I'll be honest. I think he's gone.
Well, we don't.
I think he's gone.
Officially, we know nothing.
No, of course.
Right?
I don't want to see him go realistically, but I think
and now is the time that the squad needs your backing as well. You need whatever you thought of performances so far. The team needs your backing, and if you don't give it, you're going to get what you deserve, and that's nothing. So I think we should get behind everyone.
And in this 2-week break, some of those players can stand in front of a mirror and just ask themselves if they can justify everything that's going on.
They'll probably sat there, Steve, or standing in front of the mirror going, oh, my hair's a bit out of place. Let me get another headband.
If there's anyone can talk about hair,
Pataro, yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I did watch it, so that's why it's like this. So, yeah.
Listen, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. If you're on YouTube, as I ask every week, if you can like and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you listen on the other platforms, take a dive over to YouTube and see what all these boys look like, and
we really are that ugly.
You can.
I got Keir Starmer over here. sorry.
Yeah. On that note, thanks for listening, thanks for watching, and we'll see you all again very soon.
Thanks, everyone.